when something interesting happens in the game, kind of talk about that and kind of, tell some behind the scenes, kind of intel. You have a little more time to do it than maybe a regular broadcast, and we get to do it from home. I get to be in Denver, and Eli gets to be in New York, and have some entertaining guests on each quarter that are going to kind of sit at the bar with us and watch the game. So, yeah, I think it'll be fun.
And then this is going to be the 100th year of Neyland Stadium.
Yeah.
I wanted to get what's your favorite Neyland Stadium moment?
Probably just the first time I got to run out through the tee. I still think about that. I mean, the first time I saw the stadium was on my visit here. It was an ice storm here. It was covered, like you didn't even get to go down on the field or in the locker room. We went up in the press box and sort of had a quick glimpse of it, and that was it. But to have a chance to play 30-plus games there throughout my 4 years, and to run through that tee and kind of feel the pageantry and passion of the Vol Nation, it was an honor to play there. And what incredible history, going back to his great teams early on, and from Hank Laricella to Bobby Dodd, Reggie White, Johnny Majors. It's been a pretty incredible legacy of that stadium, and it's an honor to be a part of it.
Going back to the Pro Football Hall of Fame induction, when you were getting introduced on stage, what was going through your head? What was that moment like for you?
Well, it was neat to be there with my dad. That meant a lot. He and I got to kind of share that together, and just sitting up there, kind of before it started, and kind of looking out and seeing a lot of the people that we recognize. So, yeah, that's really kind of what I've done this since I've kind of received the news, is sort of think back. When you're playing, you don't really think back. You're sort of looking kind of in the current, what's going on. But when you have a recognition like this, you do think back, and really, I just don't think much about a game or a play as much as I do kind of the people and the people that are a part of it. And that's really my greatest takeaway of all my years playing.
Peyton, so Tennessee brought a bunch of new quarterbacks in the offseason. Have you had any time to spend time with them? Quarterback room at Tennessee, what is Tennessee getting those guys? I know that Bailey went through passing game.
Yeah, we only have one, Tennessee quarterback, or only have one college quarterback per school that's allowed to come to the camp. So Harrison came this year. We've had, a quarterback every year since we've had the camp for 25 years. But I had a chance to visit with Milton today, and, I thought Harrison threw the ball extremely well at our camp. He had a great attitude. Talking to Milton today, he was excited, about the offense, and, looking forward to get going. So, I know there's been good, healthy competition during two-a-days and during camp. And look, you watch enough pro football or college football these days, you usually see more than one quarterback playing throughout the season. It's a physical game, and things are going to happen. So I think it's good to have that healthy competition and, have all those guys ready. And I know Coach Heupel is coaching them up hard.
Could you have seen yourself playing in that up-tempo offense?
Yeah, I tell you, I think it's fun to watch, and certainly I could tell just by visiting with the quarterbacks that they like it. It keeps them engaged. There's no real kind of off or rest plays. I mean, it's active, and run plays could turn into a pass play with these RPOs today, and I think they'll be aggressive on offense, which they should be. With some new players and people not really knowing what to expect, let's go ahead and go for it, and go for it on some fourth downs, and try to get in the end zone. So I'm looking forward to watching them, and like I said, be cheering hard for sure.
Peyton, what is it going to take for to beat the starting quarterback at Tennessee? What are you kind of looking for next?
Yeah, like I said, I mean, that's Coach Heupel and their staff. They're going to evaluate and make those decisions. That's a lot of reps. I mean, they're watching, I'm sure, practice and how guys are responding in meetings, and it's not just probably the scrimmages or kind of the equivalent of preseason games. All of it, kind of matters. But I'm looking forward to seeing who ends up being the starter. I hope he has a great year.
Were you able to talk to some of the players, and if so, did you give them any advice, or were they in person?
I didn't get to see them today. They practice in the mornings now, I guess, because of the heat. And I love the players, through the years, and I hope everybody has as good a college experience as I had. I cherish my 4 years here, and you know, look forward to watching kind of this new generation of players, and you know, hope these, you know, seniors can go out with a positive year, and these freshmen can be here and can help be a part of something, you know, special, a turnaround. And I think that's kind of the goal, to kind of build this foundation and you know, kind of go from there.
Peyton, do you plan on, I know you have a pretty busy schedule now, especially with Monday night football game, but do you plan on coming in and attending games this year?
I do, yeah, I do. I coach my son's flag football team on Saturdays, and so I kind of like these night games here at Neyland. That kind of helps me get here a little easier than a 12 o'clock kickoff. It's tough to make. So definitely plan on getting to some, and excited for my teammate Al Wilson being inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame. I know he's getting honored at a game this regular season, and it's on a group text with Leonard Little, Jamal Lewis, Peerless Price, Trey T. We're going to go see Al get honored in Las Vegas for the College Football Hall of Fame banquet's going to be this December. So real proud of him, and you know, what a fun time to play here at Tennessee with so many great players like that. So yeah, I'll definitely be back for a couple games.
One more question for me. Oftentimes when people get inducted to the Hall of Fame, they find out in fun ways, anything like that for you?
What's that? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'll repeat it. When people get inducted to the Hall of Fame, when they're first told about it,
Right.
sometimes they're told in fun, interesting ways. Was there anything like
Well,
that?
yeah, for me, I mean, it was kind of documented. I was out there in Denver, and had a bunch of coaches came out and shared the news with me. Cutcliffe and Coach Fulmer, as you mentioned earlier, but Tony Dungy and Gary Kubiak, Jim Caldwell, were all there in person. So, you know, I think usually they kind of do that hotel knock on the door, and because of COVID, they sort of changed it up. And I kind of think going forward, that's a better way to do it. You know, if you can go out to a person's home and, you know, kind of share the news with their family. You know, Ashley kind of organized that, and I pulled the kids out of school to kind of watch that. So that was a neat moment to kind of find out in that fashion, you know, probably a little more special than, you know, maybe being in a hotel.
Your on-TV personality is something that people oftentimes, you know, come to and they're like, we love that. What kind of vibe do you hope to bring to Monday Night Football?
You know, just being a fan. I know I played the game, but I don't want to be a critic. I want to be a fan of the game. I watch, you know, football. I go to come to games here in Knoxville. Go to a couple Colts games. Go to all the Broncos games at home with my friends, with our kids. You know, watch coaches that I know. Not many players that I played with are still playing. But the ones that, you know, like Von Miller and Brandon McManus are the two Broncos, so they pull hard for those guys. So, yeah, just a fan of the game, a guy that really loves it, has a passion for it. And, you know, and if something comes up that, you know, a quarterback is doing that maybe I can kind of say, hey, this is what I think he's probably saying to his teammates right now. Not that I'm a lip reader, but I just haven't been there before. You can kind of maybe take them behind the ropes a little bit and do it in a more casual setting. I mean, Eli and I are going to be in shorts and, you know, shirts and, you know, kind of like you would if you were, you know, hanging out in the den watching a game. So it's a little different way of doing it, and to do it with my brother, I think it'll be pretty special.
If I could ask you one more, you know, I ran in here a little late, so I'm sorry if somebody asked you this, but what does it mean to you personally to be back at Knoxville?
Yeah, it means a great deal. Knoxville's a special place to me. Been a big part of my life, and even though you know, I hadn't gone to school here since '97, it's been a part of my life since I left. People here have been great to me, extremely supportive. A lot of, you know, Tennessee folks here in Knoxville came up to Indianapolis for a lot of games and cheered hard for me, and so it means a lot to come back and to be a part of this evening on behalf of the, you know, greater Knoxville Sports Hall of Fame, you know, raising money for the Boys and Girls Club. It's a win-win. Okay, all right, thank y'all, appreciate it. Good to see y'all.